This is an exam question about timber production in temperate countries, and it says explain how ecosystems can be managed in a sustainable way. So it's timber production in a sustainable way. So first of all, sustainable is taking similar quantities of timber each year. So you're removing the same amount of timber year on year. If you were to carry out clear felling, and that's where every single tree in the woodland is cut down, that will have negative effects. For example, you're destroying many habitats, you're going to get soil erosion. So, what sustainable methods then can be carried out for timber production? Well, we've got coppicing. That's where you cut the tree at the base, but leave the tree base and the roots in. So then the shoots will start to regrow. Or pollarding. So that's when you just cut the branches off the tree and use the branch of the tree for the timber, and then again that will leave the tree in and the roots and will allow faster regrowth. So with both of those you're going to get regrowth from the base year on year. You can carry out rotation felling, and that's where if you've got a woodland, the first year you'll cut a section and then replant, and then the next year you cut a section and replant, and so on and so on. So each year you'll fell a different area of the woodland, and then that means by the time you get back to the first section there's been regrowth. You could carry out felling so that the standards, the large trees, are not coppiced. So they're used for the more expensive timber. All of these methods will encourage biodiversity. Because you're leaving some of the standard trees and the habitats that comes with those trees, and you're only coppicing and pollarding the younger trees. When you're replanting, you can make sure that we're planting fast growing species. So again, that'll ensure a sustainable harvest year on year. These fast growing trees might not look that good, so around the outside of the woodland you might plant deciduous trees. Which are the broadleaf trees that look really nice, like your oak trees. So deciduous trees, which are your broadleaves, are planted around the edge. Therefore you can carry out and use the inside of the woodland for timber production, and the woodland still looks good from the outside. So that's for aesthetic reasons. It looks nice. We can make sure that when we're carrying out timber production that we've got standards of different ages. And we only remove the mature trees. In the woodland, we ensure that we keep some clearings or some glades, and this is where strip felling will allow us to keep these glades, and that causes increases biodiversity because it creates many different habitats. So some clearings or glades are left, and that creates many habitats. And again, that will increase biodiversity. Fallen trees in a woodland, we leave them to rot. So some of the fallen trees left to rot. Again, that will provide a variety of different habitats in the woodland. We plant native species of plants, of trees, where the conditions are perfect for these species. So again, that will ensure rapid growth. When we are replanting, we remove competition between the plants, again to promote faster growth. So we space the trees out. So species are planted not too close, so that reduces competition. Again, to ensure fast growth, we control pests like herbivores that are going to feed on the plants or disease. So we manage the woodland. There might be grants available for planting new forests. New trees would provide support, so they're more likely to grow and get damaged, and we cover so they're not fed on by herbivores, so that prevents grazing of the young trees. We put in place factors to reduce the risk of fire. Obviously, a fire in a woodland that we use for timber production would absolutely be disastrous. So things like no camping, not allowing barbecues. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 22 different marking points there, all about timber production in a sustainable way. So make sure that you're talking about what sustainable means and the negative impact of clear felling. Make sure you're talking about different methods that are going to allow sustainable use of the woodland, so coppicing, pollarding, rotation felling, not coppicing the standards, planting fast growing species that are native, making sure we put in protection in for those plants against fire, herbivores, disease, making sure that we're allowing the plants to grow rapidly by spacing the plants out, and there you go, you've got an answer for using timber production in a sustainable way.